Today we are going to try and recreate the pineapple wreath. So we have some sunflowers and some leaves, and I am not really sure how she did hers, but I can tell you how I'm going to try to recreate it. I'm sure it's probably completely different than the way she did it, but I think this will work. So let me see, where did I set my pen? There it is. Okay, so what I did is I went out and got a, let's see, what is this? A 12 by 18 1-inch piece of styrofoam. And what I'm going to do, it's just a rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I took a piece of paper and I cut it into kind of an oval shape. So doesn't look terribly even, but I think it will be fine. So, because the flowers are kind of cover the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down on my styrofoam like this, and I'm just going to trace out with a pen the shape that I want. So I'll do that on one side. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I've traced it on one side. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All I'm trying to do is get the shape of an oval, because pineapples are not round. And then I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut around where I just drew. So make sure you can still see. There we go. And excuse the noise, it's a little loud. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, now I'll just pull these pieces off. Alrighty. Just a little bit. Alright, so there we have kind of the basic shape. There we go. Okay. So now when I think about a pineapple, I think it kind of has like a mound, like this. So I was thinking we could take the round balls and cut I don't want to cut too much, like this, and kind of create a mound down the middle, and then I will glue this on. So I have several of these big ones and I have some small ones too. So I'm just gonna cut these. There we go. Okay, and see what I can do is I can just cut this edge off. Cut this edge off. That there. I think I'm going to kind of put it like that. And I'll probably just use these little ones to kind of piece in like that. is you're really not going to see all this because it's going to have these little flowers all over it. So I'm going to keep cutting some of this up, and I'm going to glue it down. And then when I come back, we will start cutting our flowers and putting them on. We've got these nice little leaves we're going to put up here at the top. And we have some burlap that has the chevron, and it has burlap and yellow. So it goes really well with that. So I will keep doing this, and I will come back and we will get started on the next step. Okay, so this is what I came up with. Certainly not pretty, but I'm going to tell you what I did. So I took a 2-inch by 14-inch, and I cut that in half, and I put it right in the middle here. And then I took my giant ball and I just cut it up and put it around the edge. And then I just kind of smoothed it down with my little knife, just kind of trimming the edges off so that it had like a mound. And this is certainly not pretty, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that. So, you know, this was me kind of figuring out how to make this work. But I want to tell you what you can do is just get a 2-inch piece and then just cut it in an oval shape and just trim it so that you have, you know, what you want is the middle to be higher than the edges. So, once we get that done, what I'm going to do, and I'll tell you what I did is I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a bunch of these sunflowers. And so all we're going to do is cut them off. Okay. So I'm just cutting these off because what we're going to do is we're going to put them, you come in, buddy. We're going to put them right on the styrofoam. Person came in to say hi. So I'll just keep cutting these because we're going to need quite a few of them. And I tell you, you can also go and get these flower garlands and then just cut them off here. That's a really great way to do it too. But fortunately, the Dollar Tree had these and they were a good size. Whoops. So I just got those. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to take these like this, and I'm just going to run it through my glue. I have it all heated. I'm just going to start putting it in. I'm just going to push it down. And of course the styrofoam doesn't like glue, but that's okay. It'll be alright. So I'm just going to put these pretty close together, like this. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Now, you know, I went ahead and got these from the Dollar Tree, but you know, you can get smaller ones. You do not have to use the large ones like I'm using. Just depends on what you want it to look like. So, I'm just going to keep putting these in pretty close together. Like that. Because I don't want you to be able to see my base. And I want to try to go in a straight line. See, like this. So. It just looks a lot better if it looks more uniform going across. So that is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to come back at the end and get these edges going around. Oh, that one doesn't have a stem. We'll come back to that one. Okay. So I'm both pushing them in and gluing them down. And trying to stay in a straight line. And of course what I'm using is an electric skillet from Walmart that I use as a glue pot because I don't think it's worth spending money on a glue pot. So I just use an electric skillet with regular glue sticks. Right, Carson? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just keep doing this. Just going across. Here we go. You see how I'm putting them pretty close together like this? This just helps to make sure that you're not going to see the base. So, gives it a more uniform look. Oops. Little tag doesn't want to come off. Okay. Woo, hot. There we go. So what I'm going to do is go all the way to the edge, but I'm not going to go across the edge until I'm completely done. And then I will probably take these little ones from this flower garland and go around the edge to get that covered. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going across like this, adding them down. And when I get to the bottom, I will come back and we will do the edges and the leaves and the ribbon. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten the basic flowers in. And I'll tell you that I had to run out and get more because I can tell you that 6 of these isn't going to do it. So I actually ended up going out and getting another 12. So each one of these has between 4 and 5 flowers on it. So I'm guessing that I'm going to end up with about 16 of these bunches. Of course, you can make this smaller. You know, I made mine pretty large because we have, you know, our door's pretty large, so. Alright, so I just wanted to show you what I was going to do when I got to this point. So now I'm just going to take the flowers, still run it through my glue, and I'm going to start doing them on the sides here, like that. I did think of a couple other ways you could do this. You could get the oval shaped wreaths and use that to do your shape. You could use wire, you know, like from a clothes hanger, and just make an oval shape. And then you could use those little mats that you use when you're making the middles of the flower wreaths. I can't think of what the name of it is. It's the little plastic form that you use. There. So I'm just going to keep going around doing this. And all I'm doing is gluing them into the side so that it goes all the way around. Now, if you wanted it to be a little fuller here in the middle and look more like that shape, what you could do is just put additional flowers right on top, and that will help give you that volume. And that is strictly personal preference if you want it to be kind of more flatter or if you want it to be a little bit fuller and have that little middle. Yeah, you could also do this with cardboard, but I like doing it this way because I'm going to be putting it into the styrofoam and using glue, so I know it's not going to come loose. So that's what I was thinking when I decided to do it this way. So I'm going to keep going all the way around, and then when I get back, we'll put our leaves in the back and we'll make our ribbon, and that will be it. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten the whole thing covered on both sides. I left a tiny little bit here at the top that I didn't cover because that's where I'm going to put my leaves. And I just got a little fern bush, and I thought it would be cute to do some darker colors and some lighter colors. And I also have a really tiny one I thought would be cute to put up at the top. So I'm just going to do the same thing with these. So I'll just run it through the glue. And I want to put the bigger ones in the back, so I'm going to push it right down in. Like that. Like that there. There, let's zoom out. There we go. Like that. So I will add a couple more of the darker ones. Hey, Dad.
What are you ordering?
I'm not ordering anything. I was just doing my video. Okay, so I've gotten 3 in, like that. And I'm just gonna put some of I'm gonna progressively go to the smaller size. So I'll just keep getting glue on it, sticking it in my styrofoam, like that. I'll turn it this way so you can see. That. Let's see, I just want to make sure that I've used my big ones. Yep. Okay, and I'll just keep sticking it in. Whoops, I almost had that one backwards. All right. And I'm getting it as close to those little flowers as I can because I want to make sure when I'm done you can't see any of that styrofoam, which I think you can't, so. Then you can just kind of move them around. Get them the direction you want them to go. That's the great thing about these having the wire in them, is that you can see now it's starting to look like a pineapple. Doesn't really look like a pineapple until you get the little leaves in, and then it starts to look like it. Okay, got my last little piece here. Stick it right in here in the back of this flower. There we go. I like that. I think that looks cute. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is put our ribbon on. And I did want to show you kind of what I was talking about. So the picture that I've seen of this, it almost looked like the center had multiple layers of these little flowers. So, here we go. So you could just take some more flowers and just stick them down right on top of the ones that you already have down, just to give it that extra little layer. And I actually have smaller ones just because I thought that would look cute. But you could use the same size. So I thought that was a really good idea. Okay, so now all we have to do, well, I blew all over me. All we have to do is make the bow. So, move that out of the way. Okay, so I have the burlap in yellow. I think it's really pretty. And what I'm going to do for this bow, I'm going to get some wire out. Okay. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to make my loops about 5 inches. So let's see. Yep, okay. So of course I always overlap it just a little bit. So I'll go back and make sure that my loops are the same size. Yes. I'm actually going to cut this. Put my wire around it. I'm not going to tie it real tight because I'm not done yet. Because what I want to do is make another loop on top of here that's a little bit smaller. So, maybe right there. See what that is. About 4 inches. Okay. So then we'll just go to the other side. Make sure they're the same size. Whoop. Like that. Okay, then I'm going to cut this one off. Pinch it in the middle. And then I'm going to open this back up here. Like that. Put this one down on top of it. And I'm going to put my wire down. Yeah, that looks good. going to tie it pretty tight. So see, you end up with a bow like this. And then what I'm going to do is cut some tails. Let's see, how long do we want our tails to be? Do that right there. I'm going to cut it about 18. I'm going to go ahead and do the little detail here. Like that. I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to scratch that up. Now I'm going to put it in with my bow. Then I'm going to tie that tight. Okay, so now we have a bow that looks like this. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this little center with another piece. So I'm going to need about this much. It's about 6 inches. And I'm actually going to fold this in half like this. And I'm going to tuck it around like this. And I am going to glue this down. Sorry, I was looking for one of my little sticks. So I'm just going to get some glue on one of my sticks, put it on the ribbon, and then glue this down. See, and I see I have more than I need, but I will fix that. Okay, I only need about that much, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, and I'm going to re-glue it. Okay, so I just put some glue down, carefully, not getting my fingers in it. I'm going to close it back up like that. And then it makes that kind of tie, like that. So I'll let that kind of set for just a minute. And then I will take my 2 wires, kind of meet it in the middle, and tie it like this. And then I will use this wire right here to tie it around all of this greenery. I'll just tie it in the back. I'll show you what I'm going to do at the back. There we go. I want to get it good and tight. I'm not worried about these because I'm going to cover this back. See, like that? I think that's so cute. I could actually, let's pull this up a little bit. I could actually probably put even a few more of the taller ones in the back. I think that's cute. So for the back, there are several options that you can use to cover the back. And also, I'm going to want to put a hanger on this because I use the styrofoam. It's not going to have a hanger. So I will take like a pipe cleaner And I will put them down in there good and glue them down. And then I might use a nice little mat. I love to use these. And I'll just get the right color and cover it like this. You could use cardboard and cover it. You could use felt or foam. You could also use ribbon to cover it. So that's just a few of the ways that you could cover this back. And I would want to put my tie so that it's hanging up right here behind these leaves. So I hope you enjoyed that and that this is what you were looking for as far as how to do this. Now, of course, this is just my method. And, you know, everybody's going to do it slightly different. But this is how I thought I could do it and make sure it was going to stay together. Because if you just use cardboard, there's a good chance that that glue could come off. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. And let me know if there's another one you want me to do, because I would be happy to do that. I love trying to figure some of these things out. It's just fun. So comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.